PK, this is Jim Haig from Associated Press. Were you caught off guard by the trade? Were you in a state of shock? Did you have any idea that this was going to happen?
Well, you know what? I've gone through this process before, so obviously there was a lot of talk, not just in the off season, but the second half of the year about what the Predators would do in the cap situation, and obviously just echoing what David Poyle said about, it being a cap world and every team is up against the cap, and we were very fortunate in Nashville to have a lot of great players and a lot of great defensemen. And I think that when you draft well as the Predators have done, and you select players as well as they've done, you got to pay players eventually. And I think that that's kind of the situation that we were in. So, I think we kind of knew that there was going to be some changes. And obviously with our team losing in the first round, a team that's expected to contend for the Cup, there were going to be changes made. So, I didn't really know what to expect. Definitely when I found out that I was going to be a New Jersey Devil, I was extremely excited.
Hey, PK, Sarah Giles here with the New Jersey Devils. You and Taylor Hall were talking on Twitter last night, going back and forth. Can you just tell us a little bit about y'all's relationship and what was said when you did finally call him back?
Yeah, well, Halsey obviously played against him in the OHL, watching him in Windsor and winning championships and Memorial Cups and all that stuff, and obviously understand him going first overall at Edmonton in his career. Just a tremendous amount of respect for a player that, has kind of had an amazing hockey career and, has kind of gone into a situation in New Jersey and has flourished, into a premier player in the league. And, him being a guy that lives in Toronto and, obviously we played against each other and played with a lot of the same players. So through that connection, played world championships with them. It was kind of a short tournament for me because I got a little banged up and I didn't play the whole tournament, but, got to know him a little bit there and just very, very excited to want to play with great players. And New Jersey has a lot of them. So he's definitely one of the go-to guys there, and hopefully we can get him signed so he can be with us for the long term. Hi, PK.
All right, Sorry, real quick. Were you following along with the draft this weekend? And if you did, what do you kind of think about the Devils picks and, of course, Jack Hughes?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, we had the TV on in the house, but, there's a lot of different things going on. So I wasn't directly paying attention. And then when I found out about the trade, I'm in California. So it was about 9 o'clock my time. So I was just kind of getting up. But for New Jersey, I think it's you look at this roster and this team and the amount of talent that they have now with adding a player like Jack Hughes. A lot of teams in the National Hockey League would dream to have that talent. And I know for a player, now with me playing, going into my 10th year now, understanding how important it is to have talent around you and great players. And that's what probably excites me the most of going to New Jersey, is having young talent like that. And I think Jack's just going to complement all the great players there, veterans and young players that are already there. So very, very excited about, what New Jersey did yesterday in the draft. I think there's a lot of players that are going to, definitely develop into great players for this organization for years to come.
PK, Amanda from the New Jersey Devils. I had a chance to speak to John Hines, and he told me that he was able to connect with you. What was that initial conversation like with your new head coach?
Well, first of all, I've heard so many positive things about Coach. I have a lot of mutual friends. One of my best friends actually, roomed with him in college, and also with Mike Greer. So, just having a great understanding, a detailed understanding of his mind and how he sees the game and how he coaches, and just a very, very smart hockey individual and a great person, from what I know. And that was easy to see in our conversation. And, with coaches, it's also, I always take the approach that, when I go into a new situation, it's my job to earn the coach's trust. And, obviously I do have a history in the league, which is great. And that's probably a big part of why they traded for me. But at the same token, I'm looking at it as a fresh start. And playing for someone who has a young team that has kind of moved in the right direction. And my job's to come in and, as a guy with some experience, complement those players and help the coach build a championship team. And, for me, that's all I look forward to doing. So I'm very excited to play for Coach Hines and definitely Coach Greer for sure and the rest of the coaching staff there.
Hi, PK. This is PK from InsideHockey.com. First of all, welcome to New Jersey. Ray Shero had mentioned, how nice it is to have a person like you coming to this market and, personality and everything like that. If you look at the state of sports in this area, hockey might be one of the bright spots with the Knicks and the Giants and the Jets uncertainty and everything like that. How important is it for you and your brand and everything that you're about in terms of having personality in the sport to come to, perhaps the largest media market on earth?
Winning is the most important thing to me. And, you've said a lot of things, but the one thing that, I look at is that, it's not necessarily like I'm playing for a contract or, I haven't had individual accolades or any of these things. I've been fortunate to have these things throughout my career, to understand that the most important thing in my life has always been to win a championship, and I haven't had one yet. So, for me, it's a tremendous opportunity to, with an organization that has a history of winning, that knows how to win and trusts in that system, for me to come in, be a part of it, and find a way to win a championship. And, if you want to separate yourself from the rest of the sports teams in the Tri-City area, just win. And I think that's going to be the message, for me towards the young guys is, at the end of the day, winning is very, very tough to do in any professional sport. And you never know when your best opportunity can come. It can come in your first year. It might come in your last. But all you can do is control what you do from game 1 to 82 to set yourself up for the best opportunity to win a Stanley Cup. And, for me, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities, not just for me, for the organization and the young players that are there. I think it's important for people to understand that I'm not the only player there with personality. Jack Hughes is going to have opportunities. Nico Hischier is a first overall pick. Taylor Hall, all these young guys, and the veterans, all of us together, I think, want to make this a winning situation and have a chance to win a championship. I don't think it's about one specific guy coming in and making the difference. I think it's about pulling everybody in the right direction and bringing people together. I think that's what sports is all about. So, I think we want to give the fans and everybody a reason, and I think they've already started that. So, me coming there is just complementing that and helping the team already do what they've been doing over the past couple of years that I've watched.
And just
Associated Press again, you're coming off a year where you only played 63 games, which was the lowest in your career, and you also had your lowest point production. You only scored 31 points. How much do you feel like you got a rebound? And, I don't think you have to prove anything, but do you feel you have to prove to yourself that you have to bounce back from what was a pretty low year for you?
I always have something to prove, and I don't think there's any such thing as a bad year or a low year. I think there's challenging years. I think everybody's gone through years where things happen that are out of your control. I always have to, in professional sports, as an athlete, you always have to look at the big picture because everybody wants to focus on the here and now, and that's what our business is driven on. But, for a player like myself, it's not like I've only played in the league for a short period of time. So it's, my 11th year pro. I think I'm going into my 10th year in the NHL or whatever it is. It's a lot of years. And out of those years, I think half of them, individually, I've been able to contend for Norris trophies and all that stuff and have great seasons. So for me, I trust in that. I trust in the process to be able to take care of my body and the training that I do in the off season to make sure that I can play 82 games. And the reality is before last year, I played full 82 games, the year that we went to the second round of the playoffs and lost to Winnipeg. So I'm confident that I have a lot of great hockey in me, and everybody, that's the thing. Once you hit the age of 30, everybody wants to look at you as if you're on the way down. But, for me, I have a lot of hockey left to give, a lot of great hockey in me, and I feel great. I've never felt better and excited to give a team, whatever I can give them to help them win. And I think, playing in Nashville, there was a lot of great defensemen there. Not always getting the opportunity to play 26, 27 minutes a night or be on the power play, or in all situations consistently can sometimes affect you as well, consistently as a player. So I think in New Jersey, it's going to be a different situation, different opportunity, and I look forward to that, and taking on more of a role and a leadership role.
PK, it's Adam Vingan from Nashville. At the end of the season, you were realistic about the possibility of this happening, and David Boyle said yesterday that he even discussed that with you, I suppose, before you left Nashville for the summer. What was that conversation like with David?
Well, first of all, I owe everything to the Preds organization and what they've done for me. They believed in me bringing me into Nashville and believing that I could help their team win a championship. I believe we got close to our goal, and, we did. We went to the Stanley Cup final. We won a President's Trophy there. I know we didn't get our result of winning a Stanley Cup, but sometimes you need a little bit of luck. You need some bounces to go your way, and we just didn't get those bounces when we needed them. So, I'm very proud of my time there, but most importantly, they're a first-class organization, and David Boyle has been so great for me as a hockey player and as a person, and they've taught me so much, and from my teammates to the coaching staff, Lavi, it's awesome, and I think everybody knows how great they are, and they do, but I was just so excited to be a part of that organization and to have an impact, and for my presence there to be well received. I take pride in that. So, my message with him at the end of the season was just about, the fact that we had to come in next year and there were supposed to be better expectations for our team that year. But it was very positive going into the summer. I think that obviously me not being there, it's a lot more to it than just our team not getting out of the first round. It's a cap situation. They got a lot of young players that got to get paid, and guys like Yossi stepping into different times of their career. And I knew that I probably was going to have a 2 or 3 year window there. So, but it's a similar situation here in Jersey. I have 3 years left on my contract. That's just the reality of it. And with some of these young players coming in, there'll be decisions the same way that have to be made towards the end of my contract. So it's my job to make sure that I come in and do my job. And the reality is, just like the question before, the expectations for me are to be in the top 3, top 5 defensemen every year in the league. That's the expectation. No one really cares if you're injured or you miss games or what happened. That their expectations for you to be elite every year. And it's great because that's my expectation. So, I believe that when I'm on my game and I'm playing at my best, I can be the best defenseman in the league. And I think I've proven that.
Hi, PK, it's Neil again. How nice is it for you to go from Nashville Predators, which, had a lot of travel in between, to going to the Devils now where you have, the Rangers that are really close by, the Islanders, the Flyers, even to a lesser extent the Bruins and the Capitals. You're spending a lot more time in your own bed. How nice is that for the body and recovery and everything that goes along with that?
It's also nice having an amazing girlfriend. That's probably the most comforting thing. That after games, coming home to a house where you have someone that you can talk to and have that, and that companionship's been important for me. But, the travel's going to be great. I played in the East, obviously, for 7 years. So, I understand that. I haven't really thought about the travel too much. I look at the team and the roster. That's just what excites me the most. What I've heard about ownership there, the coaching staff, just how they do things. And also New Jersey system. I think that, their system has been successful for a very, very long time. And I believe you have to have the right coaching and the right system to win. And they definitely have the players and the talent to win. So I think it's the right recipe for success. But, that's kind of where my focus has been. But I guess you could say it's great to know that you're going to have to travel less. I mean, that's always a bonus.
Hey, PK, it's Abby from...
Again. You mentioned your girlfriend. What was Lindsay's response to the trade, and how excited is she to be coming to the New York metropolitan area where she's spent a lot of time in the past?
Yeah, she's really excited. Obviously extremely supportive. I know she's not competing anymore now, but I think that competitive spirit now is transferred over to hockey and my games. And, she watches every game even when she's on the road. And she, we talk about every player and how they're playing. So she's very interested in the rest of my career and how that develops, but extremely excited about playing for the Devils and representing the team. She's got a lot of friends, in the Tri-City area that, especially in New Jersey, that are very excited to be able to go to games and support the team. So everybody, on my side seems to be excited, but she's definitely thrilled.
Is she planning to move with you to New Jersey?
Yes. So Lindsay lived with me in Nashville all of last year, and she'll be moving with me to Jersey.
Good.
Hey, PK, it's Abby from the Bergen Record. You talked about the system in New Jersey. I just want to know your impressions of the system and just the overall style of play there and how you sort of envision yourself fitting in.
Well, it's a system that's built on winning. It's the ultimate, in my opinion. It's always been tough to play against the New Jersey Devils because they don't give you much, and I think that even when in the past years, even when the Devils haven't maybe had the most talented players, they've been able to win because the players have showed a commitment to a system. The difference is now they have a lot of young, skilled, high-end talent that's in the lineup that can make the difference now when they've played solid defense and we can transition to offense. So, I don't want to get too much into X's and O's, but I think generally if you look at the way the New Jersey Devils have been successful, it's been based on team play. And I think, over my career, it doesn't matter. You can have the best individual season, of your career, but if you're not playing on a team that plays well as a team, you're not going to win. So I'm just excited to know I'm going to a team that's built on playing well as a team and having a system where everybody can kind of excel and flourish and feel good about knowing it's going to give you a chance to win every night. And like I said, my main objective is, to come in and be a good mentor for the young guys, but I'm coming to win. I'm not coming for participation. I want a Stanley Cup ring, and I want to do that in New Jersey.
PK, it's Ken Campbell from the Hockey News. Just wondering, you look at the Rangers, they're kind of in a rebuild now, and they're sort of finding their way, and the Islanders are getting more relevant. But I'm wondering, with adding yourself and a guy like Jack Hughes, who both have, a lot of talent and have a lot of personality off the ice, do you see this as an opportunity to maybe, make the Devils a little more relevant in that market and, boost their profile a little bit?
Well, you know what? Listen, this is sports entertainment. There's always a business side, to that. And, obviously people love to talk about that a lot in regards to me and my time in the league. But guys, winning is the most important thing, and winning helps every business. And I think that obviously things need to complement winning, but that's my message. If you win, it's going to take care of everything. And for the young players that are coming into the league, my first year, before I even played a regular season game, I found myself in the Eastern Conference Finals, 5 wins away from being able to win a Stanley Cup. So, to young players that are coming in the league, like Jack Hughes, like Nico Hischier, who've only played a few years, you don't know when your best opportunity is going to come. All you can do is prepare the best way that you can to try to win. And, for me, that's where my focus is. But I think that in terms of marketing team and all that stuff, winning is the best way to do that. I'm sure if we focus on winning, everything else will fall into place.
Yeah, and when you signed your contract back with Montreal, an 8-year deal, I'm sure you thought at that time that that was going to be your home for the next 8 years. And not only did you get traded from there, you've gotten traded again. Does it bother you at all, PK, that you seem to be willing to make a commitment to these teams and then they're not really, that for whatever reason they can't seem to make that same commitment to you?
No, actually, I look at it a little differently. I look at it in a positive way. I mean, teams only trade for you that want you. So, if we're looking at a situation where teams, can't trade me and needs to buy me out, that's a different feeling, but that's not the case. The New Jersey Devils traded for me and retained my whole salary. So, for me, the way I look at it is that if teams are interested and want to have you on their roster, that's because there's a certain value. So I feel I can provide that. And, for me, I'm very, very confident and comfortable with the body of work that I've had over my time in the NHL. I don't think there's a lot of players in my position that have been able to, can say in 9 years in the league that they've had Olympic gold medal and the Norris Trophy and, All-Stars and all these, things individually. So for me, all that doesn't mean anything unless you've won a championship. But that being said, I do feel confident about my body of work and that best years are still ahead of me. So that's where my focus is. It doesn't matter which team I play for. I want to make a difference and want to make an impact. And, when I look at Nashville, like I said, I can't, the only thing I can feel upset about is that we didn't win a championship. Well, welcome to, pro sports. There's a lot of players that have been traded and have played on good teams and haven't won. I think we had that opportunity to do that. So, for me, I believe in what my body of work and what I've done so far, but I'm looking forward to what's ahead and having to go out there and be an elite player, for the New Jersey Devils every night.
Thank you.
Hey, PK.
Sarah Giles here again. Sorry, you can go. Okay, just real quick. PK, you've done a lot in the community with every team and every city you've been in. Is that something that you kind of continue to want to do in New Jersey, or, have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, I think that there's going to be time for that. Just like everything that I do, it's it's authentic to me and it aligns with the team and the community. And the first thing that I just got traded 24 hours ago, so for me right now, just getting my ducks in line and focusing on training and all that stuff this summer and getting my family situation set up and getting situated in New Jersey. And then when we're able to sit down with the front office and talk about things moving forward, I'm sure there'll be definitely some initiatives that we're going to get involved in. Community stuff is always important to me. I think it's very important to the New Jersey Devils and the organization. So along with not just myself, but the rest of the players on the team, it's always a priority to be able to give back in the best way possible. So, my team will have discussions, I'm sure, over the next few months of, our approach into New Jersey and our entrance into the community. And definitely, we want to make a difference everywhere we play. That's just a part of it. And, I got to be very familiar with a lot of kids in the community in Nashville, especially the police officers with my Blue Line Buddies program, and it's definitely something that I want to continue. I just don't know how I'm going to do that right now. Like I said, I have to have those discussions with my team and with the Devils, but it's a program that I'm very passionate about. And obviously in the Tri-City area, we know what, cops and first responders have done for people over the years, and that's very, very important to me, and it's important to highlight that. And, that's all I try to do with my team, my personal team, is just highlight the great things that people are doing in the world. And for people that are not in a fortunate position, or are in an unfortunate position, to make that position more fortunate and try to make their lives better if we can. So, but I want to make sure that whatever we do, we're aligned with the New Jersey Devils and how they do things.
PK, it's Neil. Just one more from me. The last time a Norris Trophy winner was on the Devils, it was Scott Niedermayer. I'm curious if he was a player that you looked up to at all prior to your career starting or watched growing up.
Oh, my God. I mean, Scott Niedermayer is one of the best hockey players of all time, not just defenseman, and the way he played the game, just growing up watching hockey and being able to watch the New Jersey Devils. And, you remember I played with Brian Giunta and Scott Gomez. So, a lot of the teaching points that I learned, when I started my career in Montreal were always referred back to guys like Ken Danico and Scott Stevens and these guys, that Marty Brodeur, and the way they conducted themselves and went about it. I mean, probably not a lot of comparisons between my personality and theirs, but in terms of that old school mentality and how you approach the game and your mindset and the respect for the game, all of those things, that I've learned. And, I'm just so excited to be a New Jersey Devil. It's such a rich history of winning there, and I just want to win. And I think, I'm just excited, man. I'm really, really excited.
PK, Amanda again from the Devils. I know how close you are to your family, in particular your dad, Carl. I just want to know how he reacted to the trade for, you being traded a second time, and, just your family's reaction. I know how close you guys all are.
Oh, they were really excited. The first time my dad, how he found out, I think he was like gardening or something, and I called him and I'm like, I told him, my dad, I got traded to the Devils, and he's like, wow, really? He's like, you're gonna play with Taylor Hall, and I was just like, yeah, like that's, you know what I mean? So, he seemed pretty excited, but obviously, he was. My family, Nashville holds a special place in our heart. It was really, really a great time for me there, both on the ice and off the ice. And, I know it's kind of cliche for players to say good things about the organization, but it was really great there. And I really enjoyed it. And David is first class. And I know that I'm just echoing things that everybody already knows, but my time there was really, really great. And, my family loved going to Nashville, but I'm going to tell you, they're happy to know that they're driving distance from Toronto now, and we're a little bit closer to home, and we're going to have a team that's going to be able to contend and win, and we have a lot of talented players. So all of that stuff's really, really exciting, and it's New Jersey as well. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to have a family. It's a great place to work every day, and I'm just really excited, really, really excited, and so are they.
And still planning on keeping the 76 going?
Yeah, so I've had that question a few times. So my original number is number 6, and I ain't getting that on this team. So I'm going to keep 76.
Gotcha.
PK, it's Ken Campbell again. You've made it very clear that winning is your priority, and I get that. But part of it too for you, I think, is also your brand, and I'm wondering, when you separate that part of it, are you excited about the possibility of being in a market that big with the opportunities that exist there?
I'm always excited for opportunities. I think that in life, that's all we ask for is an opportunity, because you can work really hard, you can be great at something, but not get an opportunity to highlight it. And, I believe this is a great opportunity once again. It was a great opportunity when I transitioned from Montreal to Nashville, and I did everything I could to make the best of that opportunity. Some people might say that it was a successful, term for me. Some people might say it wasn't that great. But, for me, I feel strongly about it from what we did off the ice, what we did on the ice, that it was a good time there for me, and it was a great 3 years. So, I'm looking forward to an opportunity once again in a bit of a different situation. And everything that I do is a planned approach. The first, like I said, my focus though is on the ice and winning. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities to work with the team off the ice and the community and all those things. It's a huge market, and obviously there's a lot of people there. And the team has a great presence. So all that stuff is going to complement it, but I don't think that your focus as a hockey player or as an athlete can be anywhere else but how you want to impact the team on the ice or on the field or on the court. And, I'm still a hockey player. I still want to play another 8 to 10 years, hopefully, and play a long time. And in that term, obviously I'm going to have opportunities marketing-wise, just like every other player would. But my focus is on winning a championship, because there's lots of time for everything. So, I want to win, and I want to be known as a winner, and I want to do that in New Jersey. But that being said, I look forward to working with the team in different capacities and with my teammates to help build a great environment to play in every night and continue to build on what they already have in New Jersey.